All right. Yo. What's good, everybody? It is your boy, Lincoln Clay, coming back at you with another live stream podcast. How y'all doing today? Y'all know what to do. Hit the bell icon, hit the like button. The rest will take care of itself. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And I went out of order on this one. I forgot to tell y'all that I'm the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder. What's going on, everybody? Christopher Hart, JB Loco. Who else we got in here? And Coon, what's up, Coon? Man, I know some more people gonna fall in here in a minute, but I definitely want to hurry up, get this going. I saw your comment in the chat, JP Local, that you got to take off. Unfortunately, you might be gone before I get to the meats and potatoes of this shit. Tony Briscoe, what's up? Jamal Adams, Ice Queen Gaming, Dawn, how are you? Just got back from family meal and drinks. Cool. Time to relax then. Time to relax, Ice Queen Gaming, and get some gaming in. So, you see the title. Days Gone Metacritic score exposes fraudulent YouTube. Holla at Eddie Williams. What is up? So, I guess, where do I start? I mean, do I talk about, I don't know. I don't know where to start. Do I talk about, the Destroyer was good? I don't know whether I talk about Days Gone or do I talk about this flip-flopping YouTuber? Yeah, let's talk about this flip-flopping YouTuber. And I mean, because this is the focus of, because this podcast has nothing to do with the Metacritic score of Days Gone. I don't really care what IGN said about it or any other outlets. I don't care what they said. Stardust, Sarah, what is up? I'm focusing on this flip-flopping YouTuber. I mean, so let's talk about this dude's history. He was a hardcore Xbox dude, I think borderline toxic. Whenever Xbox would get criticized for not having any games, this guy would defend them, adamantly. Whenever Xbox games would get terrible scores, he would defend them. And he even admitted that he would fiercely defend them. So last summer, supposedly he saw the light, said that all these amazing PS4 games are passing him by, and he can't sit by anymore and just let these games pass him by. That he's got to experience some of these games, and then and he somewhat did the same shit last year that he's doing today. So anyway, Coon, I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want it to sound like I'm clout chasing. Arian Drake, what's up? So last year he supposedly seen the light, flipped over to the PlayStation side, played Uncharted, gave it a mediocre review, almost I mean, the way he made it sound, it's almost like he gave Uncharted a 6 out of 10, and then jumped right back over to the Xbox side, going hard in the paint form, caping form, all that shit. And then here we go again. Thrash, what is up? Just like I said to Coon, Thrash, I'm not gonna mention his name. I mean, y'all got an idea who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want it to sound like I'm clout chasing. But I've been screaming that the dude is a fraudulent. I've been screaming that the dude was fraudulent ever since he did this second flip flop. Jumping over to the PlayStation side. I mean, since I even knew of this guy's existence, this is the second time that he jumped over to the PlayStation side. Talking about, all these amazing games that the PlayStation has. And recently he's been talking shit about how Anaconda ain't going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to stop the PS5, whoop-de-whoop, all this good shit. Days Gone is going to prove the critics wrong, all kinds of shit. He's, I mean, the way he had been talking shit the last couple of weeks, he almost sounded like a toxic pony. So now we finally get a Metacritic score. He was talking about Lay, yo, what's up? I think I said what's up to you, Stardust or Cyril, but what's up again? He was talking about how excited he was for the game, all this kind of shit, and the embargo has finally been lifted on the game, so now they can go ahead and give their opinions on the games, give it a critic score, all that shit. And so, as you know, this isn't, in as far as the Sony standards goes, as far as the PlayStation standards goes, this game isn't getting one of the better Metacritic scores. But that has not diminished my excitement for this game. The game is downloading as I speak. Now, truthfully, as many streams as I do, I normally don't like to stream single player games, because when I'm responding to all the comments, it takes me off of the story, and I end up losing critical pieces of information in the game. So Christopher Hart, no, he didn't trash Days Gone. Where I'm going with this is where I'm going with this. So the Metacritic scores came out, they're not very good. So that he let that question his own opinion about the game. So the title of his video today was like, Days Gone, was I wrong? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, did he play the game? I listened to his video. No, he hasn't played the game. He's questioning his own opinion about whether the game is great or not based on a Metacritic score, and based on what journalists have been saying about the game. He hasn't even played the game yet, but he let what journalists say sway his opinion. And now he up here talking about, was I wrong, and all this shit. I mean, you haven't played the game yet, so how the fuck do you know whether you're wrong or not? Only you will know whether you were wrong. You have to play the game to find out for certain. Like me, I believe State of Decay is trash. I believe Sea of Thieves is trash. I believe Crackdown 3 is trash. I cannot definitively say they are trash. I believe they are trash, but I will never know if they are trash until I play them. And the only person who can change my mind, even though I haven't played those games, and even though they are trash, even though I believe they are trash, the only person who can change my mind about those games is me, not the Metacritic score. Shit, take Mafia 3, for instance. Leading up to the release of that game, 2K did not give out any review copies of the game. That is a huge red flag right there. I mean, when I first heard about that, the first thing that hit my head was that if you're not giving out review copies of the game, then you must not be very confident about the game. But that did not diminish my excitement for the game, and it did not sway me away from purchasing the game. I still purchased the game day one, and I enjoyed it. I loved Mafia 3. I loved it to this day. I can acknowledge that the game was repetitive. The game had some bugs, but the game had an amazing story, and I loved it to this day. Hence, Lincoln Clay was born on YouTube. So, what we got here? OBJ to Don. I played them all except for Crackdown 3. They're trash. So you have OBJ, you got every right to feel that way. But even if you didn't play them and you still thought they were trash, I would never challenge you on that. I would feel like the only person that could change your mind about those games is you, not a Metacritic score. So now to make it even more fucked up, he's you say everybody ain't built like that, Nick Taylor. Yeah, I guess we finding that out now. I guess everybody ain't built like that. So to make this even more fucked up, now here's the crazy part. So now he's not so sure the game is great because of the Metacritic score. Now, it'd be one thing if the game got a Metacritic score because it was buggy, if it was glitchy, if it was causing consoles to crash or something like that, and they got a bad score because of that. Okay, I'm going to take that into consideration. But I guess the critics are saying that the acting was cheesy, it was repetitive. I guess it was, what else were they saying about it? Like they felt like it was a long, dragged out, cheap movie and all this kind of bullshit. Saris is great. What is up? So he let how they feel about the game sway his opinion, and he didn't even play it yet. So, but yet he's still talking about getting the game. But now he doesn't sound like a person that's excited about the game. He sounds like a person that's still going to buy the game to see if the Metacritic score was right, rather than the excitement factor and wanting to see a great story play out. If I would have let something like that affected me, I would have never picked up Mafia 3. Yeah, I saw his video. Yeah, Christopher Hart, I saw his video. You know, Red Ranger, that's your opinion. If you think the game is trash, that's on you. I'm not gonna but if you came up with that opinion in your heart, okay, I'm cool with that. But if you decided that you thought the game might be decent and then this Metacritic score came out and then you decided it was trash, you're a fraud. And at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about the game being trash, if you feel like the game is trash, I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, only person can change your mind is you. That's the way it should be. So if you strictly Xbox, Red Ranger, the only thing I can give y'all credit for is no matter what kind of fucked up shit comes out about the Xbox, is y'all stick to that shit. You know, save for this dude that's been flip flopping. Hey, Nick Taylor, the game is downloading on my PlayStation right now as we speak. Shit, I'm gonna have an excited day of gaming. I'm gonna get some Oculus in, and I'm gonna get some Days Gone in. I told y'all. With the exception, joystick. What's going on? Shadow Broker, what's up? You said you've been playing it for at least 5 hours. The game is amazing. That's good to hear. High school, you can't wait to pick it up tomorrow. And you know the thing about, you know what turned me on about Days Gone was the zombies. We've seen zombies before. We've seen it 1,000 times. We've seen it, State of Decay, which, blech. We've seen, The Last of Us, which I think is pretty cool. You say is Days Gone. You've been playing it for 4 hours. It's hella good so far. You said you just messing, bro. Days Gone looks really fun to play. Hey, but Red Ranger, but if you still thought the game was trash, I wouldn't challenge you on it. As long as that's your opinion and you weren't swayed in that direction. If you didn't let if you really felt like that and didn't let the Metacritic score point you in that direction, I would have respected your opinion. So we'll rate the Emperor. What's up? I'm excited for this game. Sick Humor showed the type of people who reviewed this and their credit is questionable. Yeah, I watched Sick Humor. I watched his podcast today, and truth of the matter was, I saw no need to have a podcast today because I felt like Sick said enough for all of us. I think he spoke for a lot of people what he said today and how he felt about this fake ass bullshit with the Metacritic score, and and how some people jumping fences and shit like that because of a Metacritic score. I was cool with that. I was not going to say anything until I saw this frauds video. I have been saying it ever since they supposedly made the flip flop that both him and Crap Gamer was frauds. But the thing about it is, I gave the dude too much credit. I knew he was going to expose himself, but I didn't think it was going to happen until Next Generation. I didn't think he was going to expose himself until the Next Generation started and the score is 0-0. Then he can go back, caping for Xbox. But for you to change your mind over a Metacritic score on a game you haven't played yet? I mean, like when it comes to critics and their opinion of a game, Alabama Jones, what's up? You should treat that like a critic going to a restaurant. You know, if a critic goes to a restaurant and goes to a restaurant and he eats some pizza and he says that pizza was awful, but he ate some liver and said that shit was delicious, you're gonna look at him with an eyebrow raised. It should be the same way right now. Lunkin, what's up? You know, if a critic goes to a restaurant, I love pizza. Like pizza is like crack cocaine to me. I can't get enough of that shit. What's up, gamer dad? Pizza is like crack cocaine to me. Like if I'm supposed to go out on a date and she say we ain't got to go nowhere, let's get a pizza. I'll be like, I'm gonna be smiling like ear to ear. Fuck yeah, let's do it. You know. But a critic comes along and says that pizza is nasty. I'm gonna look at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he says liver is delicious. Okay. How about a critic goes? How about a movie critic? I definitely don't pay attention to what they say. Because these are the same dudes, these metacritics, these movie critics say a classic movie like Goodfellas was garbage, but would tell you that Steel Magnolias was a gripping story. Like I seen Steel Magnolias before, and that's because a woman forced me to watch it, and that shit put me to sleep. So I wish I would listen to a food critic. I wish I would listen to a movie critic. Here, a video game critic should be the same way. If they tell you the game is broken and glitchy and buggy, then yes, that's something to consider. But the fun factor, the entertainment value, fuck no, you don't listen to any critics. You make your own determination. What's up, Blue? Holla at Eddie. I don't know why IGN gave Days Gone a 71. I have not read, their report on the game and don't intend to. This podcast is about a fraudulent YouTuber who let a Metacritic score, bring his true colors back out of him. I knew the dude was a fraud, and I knew something would happen that would make him come out of it. Now, here's the crazy part about it. He talked about how great the game is and how this game is going to prove critics wrong. And he was like, when I get hold of the game, if the game is trash, then I'll say it. I'll come back and say it, regardless of what people say about me. But he ain't even got the game in his hands yet. And because of the Metacritic score, now he was like, was I wrong? Like, he's not saying, was I wrong about the Metacritic score? He's saying, was I wrong about whether it's a good game or not? And he hasn't even got it in his hand. Again, if you wonder whether a game is good or not, only you will know whether the game is good or not. Yeah, he said Days Gone will prove critics wrong. I didn't even see that video. I just saw the headline. And I'm like, man, this motherfucker is just going hard in the paint for Sony. And I'm like, something is going to happen that's going to make him jump back to that other side. And like I said, I gave him too much credit because I really thought he wouldn't expose himself until the next generation started, but he did it a lot sooner than I thought. You say Ari and Drake, YouTubers never keep that same energy. Don't call me Danny. Don't call me Danny. I'm sorry. What's going on? Yeah, Shadow. He's a fraud. I've been telling y'all that for weeks. People was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. No. Like, one thing I never told y'all about was last summer when he claimed that he can no longer defend Xbox and I can't let these great games pass me by. I'm going to get a PS4. I don't want to miss out on these games and all this kind of shit. I actually commented and told him, okay, you finally see the light. I said, you seen the light. and didn't get no response. And I'm like, okay, I'm wondering if he didn't respond because he got too many subscribers and can't reply to them all, or he didn't reply because he knows he's a goddamn fake. If this don't expose what a fraud he is, I don't know what will. Video games, all of us, I would like to think everybody in here is passionate about video games. No, fuck no, you do not let somebody take that passion out of you. Like I said, I love pizza. And I'm usually loyal. When I find a pizza place that I like, I'm loyal to that place. I will go there every weekend. But I'm also open to trying new places. Now, pizza is the one food where no matter what a critic say, they'll never sway me in another direction. If I'm curious about, like, I'm like, okay, I done had Villa Pizza 2 months straight now. It's time to try something different. And I decided I'm going to give Carlos Pizza a try. And somebody says that shit is garbage, don't fuck with them. No, that's not going to change my mind because you and me don't have the same taste buds. I'm following through and I'm going to eat Carlos. After I make a determination, after it's been in my belly, after I make that determination that it's trash, then yeah, I ain't fucking with him again. I'm not letting word of mouth on the street sway me in a different direction. You're right, Alabama Jones. I don't care for Domino's that much. I don't even care for Little Caesars that much, but I eat it a lot because it's quick. Like Little Caesars, you walk in there, give me a pepperoni, walk right out the door. There's not too many places. There's not too many places in my town that's like that where you could just walk in and have a pizza, pieces already made, especially for $5-6. It's not the best pizza, but I still eat it. And as far as Pizza Hut goes, I actually worked for Pizza Hut for about a year. And it's not at the top of my list of favorite pizzas. My biggest gripe with Pizza Hut pizza is that they don't really put any sauce on their damn pizza. It's bread and cheese and whatever toppings you got. I think sauce is what gives a pizza its taste. So a lot of times when I order a pizza, I always order extra sauce. So that's my biggest gripe with Pizza Hut. I don't think it's nasty, but it's not at the top of my list. But under the right circumstances, I'll still eat it. Shit, back in my days when I used to hang out at the clubs and go chasing women and all that kind of shit, at 2 o'clock, when we would get out of the clubs, all the pizza places were closed except for this one place called Mr. Pizza. They stayed open till 5 in the morning. They pizza was not the greatest, but I still went there every Saturday after the club let out and still went and got that pizza because it wasn't nasty. It just wasn't at the top of my list, but the shit was still good enough to eat. And I never let anybody sway my direction on it. Oh yeah, that was me, coon, clubs and perms all day. All day. But so now I'm curious to what he is going to say after he plays this game. And the thing about it is, because he already let the Metacritic, burn a thought into his head, he may not go into this game with an open mind. He may go into this game already, with his mind made up that he was going to pick the game apart because of just so he can get on the same boat as the Metacritics. So yes, the dude is a fraud. Anybody who's watching this podcast that still think he's a credible YouTuber, hey, I welcome anything you want to say about him. I'm all ears. So nah, I mean, I'm still excited for the game. Like I said, the game is downloading right now as we speak. I know Thrash is going to get it. I think Thrash is going to. I think Thrash is going to. Lincoln, you know what's bots live Metacritic. I love Metacritic. I don't know why, because I don't know. I don't get how a community can think a game that gets a 60. I don't get that. It's okay. Like it's okay if the game they like gets a 60. But if the team on the opposite side of the fence has a game that gets an 85, and let me put it this way with the Xbox, the shit that comes out of their mouth has nothing to do with the fun factor of a game. It's about a score. Anything that's on their platform that gets a 60 is great. Anything on the other platform that gets below an 80 is garbage. Anything that I anything that I say that I love or I hate has nothing to do with a Metacritic number. If I love something, I played it. I love it. If I say it's garbage, that means one of two things. Either I played it and it confirmed that I believe it's garbage, or I'm apprehensive about it and will continue to believe that it is garbage until I get it in my hands and something changes my mind about it. Loco, you said you are Days Gone Standard Edition, Collection Edition, and Digital Edition Deluxe. I've done my part. Uncompetitive, what's up? Mark Jones, you say it's funny that it's funny that Xbox guys are coming to the PlayStation community and we welcome them in, and we should not do that. I would probably say, I'm not going to say slam the door on their face. I'm just going to say, when you hear a knock on the door, open it just a little bit and do it with a raised eyebrow. Remain apprehensive when you open that door. Don't just open that door and embrace them. Welcome, brother. Love thy enemy. Trey BK, what's up? um, Cool. You said Days Gone is showing that Sony is dropping the ball at the end of the generation. I mean, not every game is going to suit everybody. And I never once felt like um, Days Gone would be a game that would be a system seller for Sony, nor did I feel that Days Gone would be a game that would damage Sony's credibility and make all the work they did go down the tubes. So to me, if a game is garbage, it's garbage. It doesn't matter what stage of the generation that we are in. People still talking about Quantum Break being garbage, and that came out more or less at the beginning of the generation. A little Tussin, you said, "Wow, this one game gets mixed reviews and it's all over." How could you not see that? You know what Days Gone was? You ever went inside a building that's got a leaky ceiling and they put fucking plastic under the leaky ceiling to contain the water? And then it gets to the point where it just can't go any further. And if you were to stick a pin into that plastic, the whole shit is just gonna dump all over the fucking office. That's what Days Gone was. The game filled up with Xbox waiting to jump on that game. Because again, anything under an 80 is trash to them, or at least that's the narrative they will push, and they will never shut the fuck up about it. And they will jump in your face and they will gloat in your face and act like this game got a 32 Metacritic score and act like Sea of Thieves was a 198 on the Metacritic score. So Days Gone was the chosen game. That was the game that no, not that game wasn't the chosen game. It's like that with every Sony game. El Matador, what's up? What's up, Caleb? Every every Sony game is like that. If the game doesn't do at least an 80 on a Metacritic score, there is going to be a fucking flood. So, you know, I haven't even gotten into the actual gaming sites and journalists themselves because I already know. You said an amazing comparison. Yeah. Yeah, joystick. I haven't even gotten into what the journalists are saying themselves because I already had my mind made up that at least at least one person is going to give this game an awful score because they were probably paid off by Microsoft. But what do we got here? It said Days Gone should have got a 78 or an 80. Doesn't matter to me what it gets. At the end of the day, the only person um the game needs to impress is me. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have the final word on whether it's a good game or not. Joystick, you said how many Sony exclusives this gen were Game of the Year contenders? Yeah, drops, Mike. I mean, that's fucked up when that's fucked up when the Game of the Year awards come around and a goddamn broken indie battle royale game gets stronger consideration than the shit that Microsoft has to offer. So I already knew that there was going to be some journalists that was not going to give this game a good score. And even though I thought the game was going to get an 85, I knew that there was a strong possibility that it could get lower than an 80, especially with it being a new franchise. My big concern was what was the fallout going to be? How were the Xbox going to celebrate in the streets if the game gets below an 80 Metacritic score? They don't care that it's still better than their games. They just care that it got below an 80. Say, Gamer Dad, my only concern is if Days Gone will be good enough to hold my attention since it's an open world game. Um, The way I would answer that is I don't care about the game being open world. What I don't want is a Grand Theft Auto type game because there's so much petty side shit on Grand Theft Auto that has nothing to do with the story. And then there's some side quests that takes you off the actual story. Well, you got to go see this person to see if they'll help you. Or you go see this, you go see Johnny. He tells you that I need you to go see Billy because he's got some money that he owes me. If you can go get the money from him, then I can help you. Then you go to Billy and like, look, I got his money, but it's tied up from, from Fred. If you can go with me to get the money from Fred, then I can get my money back. Then, from Fred, then I can pay you to take the money to, back to Johnny, all that bullshit. It's way off the main story. That's one of the things I loved about the mafia games. It was an open world game, but everything you did was still connected to the story. They didn't send you on any missions that had nothing to do with the story. It was just thrown in there just to throw content in there. It was still connected to the story. Mafia 3, the game had you start from the bottom and work your way up. Was to take out all the lower level people and work your way up to the top. And his mission was to take over the city one piece at a time. So every part of the city, any of the operations that you destroyed was all connected to the story. All right, I take this one down. That's going to cripple the cash flow and cause a problem on this part of the city. And then, when Marcano's not getting his money from the eastern side of the city, there's going to be a problem, so it still stayed connected to the story. And that's the big thing. That would probably be the only thing that I would be concerned about with Days Gone being an open world game is if it's got a lot of side bullshit like the Grand Theft Autos and the Red Dead Redemptions does. A lot of side bullshit. I mean, Red Dead Redemption actually started out being a great story about, John Marston being forced by the government to help him bring in his former colleague. But then the game had you doing too much side shit that I felt like had nothing to do with it. You had to go all the way down to Mexico to go chase down some people that, like, to me, had nothing to do with the story. And you had to complete all that bullshit before you could come back to America and get back to what you was doing. And don't forget, in a real life situation like that, the government only gonna give you so much time to get the job done. Yeah, JP Local, you said that the map was just too big. And I already saw, just because of how big of an open world that game was, I already saw that I wasn't going to finish that game. That's one of the reasons why I gave it away. I don't even remember who I gave that shit away to. I just know that I gave it away when I hit one of my milestones. I think I gave it away when I hit I either gave it away for the 4th of July or I gave it away when I hit 400 subs. What about gas for the motorcycle? Yeah, since your fuel is limited and bullets are limited, then yeah, it's connected to the story. His motorcycle is a huge part of that. Is a huge part of this game, and he got to keep fueling the motorcycle. So if that's part of the story, then everywhere you go, you're gonna have to get some gas. So if the game takes him off the main story because he needs to go over to this part of town because he heard there's some gas over there, then yeah, I'm fine with that because he needs the fuel for his motorcycle to do whatever it is he's going to do. It's still connected to the story. Truth be told, the DLC for Mafia 3 actually turned me off because Lincoln Clay did all that work to take down Sal Marcano. His goal was to take down Sal Marcano by taking over the city and shrink all his resources and shrink his army down so small that there's nobody but him left. So now that he finally got rid of Sal Marcano, and now that he's the king of New Bordeaux, he's the king of the city. Now the DLC starts off with a crooked sheriff in a town that's miles away this killing black people or whatever. He killed a black reporter or whatever the case may be. And so Lincoln got to take it upon himself to go get rid of this one crooked sheriff. When he spent the whole fucking time wiping out the Southern Union, wiping out the Dixie Mafia, wiping out the Haitians, and dealing with Vito, dealing with his people turning on him, so he was dealing with them. And then he even dealt with, in at least my version of the story, Burke turned on him, so he was dealing with that. He dealt with all that shit to take control of the city, and then jumps off of his crown just to go deal with one crooked ass sheriff, miles away in a town that nobody ever heard of. So the DLC turned me off because it didn't connect. It wasn't a follow-up. It was not a follow-up to the main story. So in Days Gone, if the game requires me to go somewhere, another part of town to get gas, I'm fine with that, because the game is making it clear that fuel and ammunition are scarce, and it's like a fucking treasure, and you got to go find some. So if you got to go somewhere to get it, then I'm fine with that. Now, if the game tells me I got to go on another side of town to go on some kind of mission, and I see a motherfucking treasure chest in the middle of a damn field, and open it up and it starts shining and shit like that, and a gold Mario coin pops out of it, then yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You said Happy Console Gamer sold me on the game. Check his review out. That's the whole problem. Nobody's review is selling me on the game. I've been excited for this game ever since I saw it. Nobody's review is going to motivate me to get the game or detour me from getting it. And that's what I think it should be about, Lunkin. I think you should be, if this is a game that you were excited about, that's the game you should get because you're excited about it. Even if you were iffy about this game or apprehensive about this game, if it would be possible, I would still say rent the game and still check it out. JP Local, you said having to get gas or repair your motorcycle never feels intrusive or annoying, as you're constantly stopping to explore, often being rewarded with gas and scraps for your bike. Not only that I understand that at any given moment, infected animals can jump out at you, hordes of zombies can jump out at you. People, I guess there's like marauders and shit like that that's out to take your bike and stuff like that can jump out at you. So, excuse me. So it's not a random ride through the park. A game like Red Dead Redemption, you got to go down the hills and take a 15 damn minute ride and listen to some, cheesy ass dialogue. And then anybody that's standing on the side of the trails, they're not going to fuck with you unless you fuck with them. So they just, they're just part of the scenery. Whereas with this game, I'm understanding you might be riding and everything looks cool, and then a damn bear jump out of nowhere after you. So I'm good with that. I'm excited about that. This Metacritic score has not changed my stance about 2019. I'm still excited about 2019 for the VR games that's coming. And I already said the Sony exclusives are the flat screen games that I'm excited for. I'm excited for Days Gone. I'm excited for, The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Xbox Video, you said all the reviews I read, 5 of them, all of them said it became repetitive. You end up doing the same thing over and over again. But then again, when you got a game that's got about 30 hours of gameplay in it, what part of it isn't repetitive? I said that before. I'll be the first one to tell you that Mafia 3, one of my favorite games of all time, is repetitive as fuck, but it did not diminish my excitement for the game, and it did not diminish my my desire to want to get the game. I got the game for me. Fuck what the critics was saying about the game being repetitive. Any game that has especially any game that's open world, and any game that's got a good amount of hours of gameplay is going to have some repetition to it. What game doesn't? I mean, I guess like I guess Sea of Thieves isn't repetitive in a sense that on this go round you're gonna go look for a pig, and on the next one you're gonna go look for a banana. So I guess in that sense, I guess it's not repetitive, but the thing is still the same. You're going out on fetch quests. You said, who's the fraudulent YouTuber? Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. All I'm going to tell you is that the title of his video said Metacritic score. What did it say? It said, Days Gone, was I wrong? But I think the thumbnail showed the Metacritic score. So that was right there. That was all I needed to see. Already knew before I watched the video that he let a Metacritic score change his opinion about a game that he hadn't played yet. He was so sure that this game was going to be amazing. He was so sure that this game was going to prove the critics wrong. And then it comes out with an average Metacritic score. Oh, so now he's not so sure it's a great game. So you let Metacritics change your mind on a game you haven't played yet. You go to a restaurant and some food smell good as fuck, and it smells so good you just can't resist. You want to try it, and then the guy over at the next table say, "Man, don't try that shit. That shit is nasty." You and me don't got the same taste buds, so I ain't listening to shit you got to say. The only person that's going to determine whether it's nasty is me, not you. Not the journalist that was paid to eat here. You said video. You said you haven't been on YouTube less because of your situation, crappy internet where you are. Sorry to hear that, bro. Unfortunately, we live in that day and age. Support gaming. What's up? Unfortunately, we live in that day and age where your gaming experience is going to be crippled if you don't have internet. Don't forget, in my opinion, Lay, that Sony's already fighting an uphill battle. The bar is higher for them. Anything that gets less than an 80 gets harsh criticism. Over on the Xbox side, anything over 60 gets praised. Definitely some double standards there. Said Red Ranger, you smell something funny. Hey, on the flip side of that, Red Ranger, if I'm at a restaurant and something smells nasty as fuck in there, and I got my mind made up, I'm not gonna eat it. And then somebody like, no, man, it actually tastes good. You should try it. Like, fuck, no, I'm not. I got my mind made up, and the person sitting next to me, none of them's gonna change my mind. Only me gonna change my mind. You said you will be playing Days Gone tonight. Took me 16 hours to preload it. God damn, your internet must be fucked up. Speaking of internet, I got an upgrade today because through Comcast, I had a 1 year promo where I was getting 25 megs for $25 a month, plus another $11 a month for the modem, to rent the modem. Well, now that year is up, so now my shit has gone up to now it's going up to $50 a month. So I went through and I took a look at some more promos. So for another $5 a month, for $55 a month for 1 year, now I can get internet speeds for up to 60 gig, 60 megs, along with 10 TV channels. So I'm just gonna be forced to go ahead and upgrade. Otherwise, I'll be still paying $50 for the same 25 megs. So I might as well go ahead and throw another $5 in there and get 60 megs versus 25. Mr. Modern, just watch MBG's video, and I don't know, Lincoln. He's not coming across as a fraud to me, or he's coming across as a fraud to me. But you just tricked me right there. You got me. I just said his name. Good one. You just got me, Mr. Modern. But all of y'all knew who I was talking about anyway. But my whole point is, leading up to the game, he was saying how amazing the game is going to be, how exciting it was, how the game is going to prove the critics wrong. And the critics came out and gave it a mediocre score. And now he backing off of what he said, and he hasn't even played the game yet. Well, I don't know. They're saying it's cheesy and they're saying it's repetitive, and I'm just not sure. I'm still going to get the game because I still want to see if it's a good game or not. But I'm not sure anymore. All that bullshit, motherfucker sound like he sleep. Right there, Vidiot. That's the way it's supposed to be. The reviews don't affect me. I love those type of games. The Days Gone is. And the crazy part about it wasn't even so much that with Days Gone, what caught my attention first? Like I said, those hordes of zombies coming at you, and they just don't seem to stop. It looks like at any given moment, a couple of hundred zombies could be coming at you. Now you got to be smart with your ammo. You just can't go on no Rambo shit and just start spraying everywhere. Now you got to start trying to use the environment to slow some of these dudes down. Shooting at oil drums to try to take out 20 of them rather than using 20 bullets to try to take down 20 of them. So that's what attracted me first. And then when I saw that, okay, now he gonna be dealing with infected animals. Now he gonna be dealing with people trying to kill him. On top of that, the people that aren't affected, most of them still gonna be trying to kill him. And then knowing that he had a girlfriend or a wife or something like that, and something happened to him, that's like, now I'm curious. I'm like, did his girlfriend die, or did she get infected? If she got infected and he comes face to face with her, is he going to be put in a position where he going to have to kill her or try to find some way to save her? You said he hasn't changed his mind on the game, just his hype level for the game. No, but what he's saying is, now he's saying because of what the Metacritic score said, he's not sure if it's a good game now. He let the Metacritic score change his mind on whether the game is good or not. It's not about whether he's still going to get it or not. He still said he's going to get it, and that's the fucked up part about it. Now he sounds like a man that's going to get the game because he wants to see if the Metacritic score was justified rather than a game that he's actually excited for. So no, he never said that he wasn't going to get the game, but now his reasons for getting the game has changed. He was going to get the game because he's excited for it, because he was excited for it. Now he's going to get the game to see if the critics were right. He seemed certain that it was an exciting game, but now he's not so sure anymore because of these Metacritic scores, and he hasn't even played it himself. How can you let people change your mind on something you haven't played it yet? You said a Metacritic score is at a 72. What's he bitching about? That's just, to me, that's just the high score. That's just the high standard that Sony is held to. Um, I don't even know if this is a good. I don't even know if this is a good comparison. I don't even know if I should use it, but just saying it again, with when it comes to Sony, any game that gets below an 80 Metacritic score, the Xbox they celebrate, they act like the game is trash, and with these Xbox games, if it gets above a 60, they act like the game is the second coming of Jesus. I mean, look how hyped they try to act over Sea of Thieves, which was fake hype. They had to act like they was excited over something because after Sony showed additional footage of God of War and gave a release date, it cut their fucking hearts out. So they still had to act like they was excited about that trash coming up. And then when the Metacritic score got in and they got a 60, whatever it got, they acted like they were doing a backflip over it. They try to claim victories on games that's in the 60s and try to hand out L's to Sony wherever their games are below 80s. Little Tussin, you said the game is fun. I guess I'll find that out at midnight. I don't have early access to the game. Myself, I'm excited for the game. I think when I get done with this podcast, I am going to take a power nap. So when midnight comes around, I'll be refreshed and be able to play the game. Danny Ruiz, what is up? Thank you. I appreciate it. So I don't know. That's about all I got. I mean, that's just that's pitiful. That a dude let a Metacritic score. Um, I mean, he was hyping this game up, and he let a Metacritic score back him off of it. If anything, he's guilty of being overhyped for the game because of all the Sony exclusives he's been playing have been amazing. So Sony raised the bar. You see, listen to what you just said right there, Mr. Modern. He's overhyped for the game because of all the Sony's games that he's been playing so far. He's played those previous Sony's games, and he's confirmed that they are amazing. In the case of this game, he felt like it was going to be an amazing game, but he backed off of that because of something that somebody else said, not because of his personal experience with the game. Therefore, he's a fraud. He pretty much cut it in stone that this game was going to be amazing. He cut it in stone that this game was going to prove the critics wrong. But as soon as that Metacritic score came out, he backed up. Well, I'm not so sure now. I'm not sure now. They're saying it's repetitive and it's cheesy acting. I'm just not so sure. I'm still going to take a look at the game, and now he's not. Now he's not getting the game because he's excited about it. Now he's he's playing the game. Now he's sound like he's going to get the game so he can see if he can fact check the critics. Impatient Fire, he said he let himself get too hyped. This was a fool. This fool was hyped for State of Decay. It was nothing wrong with him there's nothing wrong with him getting hyped for State of Decay. There's nothing wrong with him getting hyped for Days Gone. What's wrong with this picture was he hasn't even played the game yet, and he let a number back him off of his hype. He almost sound like he's scared now. He almost sound like he's scared. He almost sound like a dude now that he almost sound like a guy now that's going to get the game because he has to follow through with something, not because he's actually excited for it. So I'm so excited about Days Gone that I believe that it's going to significantly cut into my VR time. there's only so many hours in the day from how much I work, with how much sleeping I do, and how much gaming I do, and even though I haven't gone back to the gym yet, I have started working out again. I just been doing it from home. So now I got to factor that in, and my son and all that kind of shit. So JP Local, you say no, animation is pretty good. Voice acting is fine, not great, not bad. I'm cool with that. Joystick, you said No Man's Sky is cutting into my VR time. I don't know. You know what, Joystick? I'm excited about No Man's Sky. I'm in the middle of the road about that game because I think the game has the potential to take significant time away from the other games that I had, but I don't know. But I'm still excited to find out. And I'm not going to let a Metacritic score take me out of that excitement. I'm curious about No Man's Sky. I'm absolutely excited about Iron Man VR. I don't give a fuck what nobody says about that game. Nothing's going to change my mind about that game. Nothing's going to change my mind about Blood and Truth. Those are two games that I'm absolutely excited for. I don't give a fuck what nobody says about those games. Loco, you said Deacon St. John's voice actor is pretty good, though. So, Doug Nasty, you said you put a white lead in anything and it gets criticized. Danny Ruiz, you said MLB is cutting into my playing time. Hey, Danny Ruiz, I love MLB The Show, and I would be playing it more if it weren't for VR. If you go back and look at my videos, I think I streamed damn near 40 MLB The Show games. Whereas this year I've only done 2 of them, but um, look how many VR streams I've done. Shit, I was chilling last night and streamed poker. I lost about 15,000 on the table last night, but I still streamed Poker Stars. Sarah's is great. You said you never asked for Days Gone, but I wanted to succeed so it wouldn't hurt the chances of a siphon filter resurgence. You know what? Sarah's is great. See, that's Microsoft talk right there. If Sony has its mind made up that they're going to go ahead and do something with the siphon filter, it's going to have nothing to do with the success of Days Gone, because Sony will take a chance, whereas Microsoft won't. Joystick, you said Ghost Giant is awesome. I don't know anything about that game, so that's a game that I'm approaching with an open mind. I watch some streams and that kind of stuff and see what I think of it, and make a determination of whether I'm going to get it or not. So you asking me if I already have the Impatient? Yeah, I have it, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm being a little bit of a scary bitch because horror games are the one games where VR is a little too real because it's fucking scary. I might be playing a game where I'm jumping out of a plane and won't be scared, but I will be scared of walking through a damn dark room through VR, and the damn 8-foot monster jump out at me. Yeah, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. Only reason why Until Dawn Rush of Blood didn't scare me is because I had guns in my hands to shoot anything that came at me. So my thinking was, okay, if you kill them, they can't get you. So, Kuhn, I don't doubt it. When you say No Man's Sky is a dope game, I don't doubt it. I just wanted, I want to experience it in VR because, hey, Anthony from VR 365 said it. VR is a game changer. There might be some games that you are apprehensive about. There are games that you may not be that sure about, but if they throw the game in my face in VR, that changes things. Fuck. Look no further than Call of Duty. I'll never touch that shit again unless it goes to VR. If Call of Duty becomes fully playable in VR, I will at least take a look at it. Saris is great. You said, but what if Days Gone gone mediocre score stop Sony Ben from doing Siphon Filter? I don't know. I could be wrong. Saris is great. But I think with Sony, I think if they're going to do something with Siphon Filter, they already got their mind made up that they're going to do it, and they probably already got the ball rolling to do it. I don't think it's a situation where they came to Sony Ben and say, "Hey, if Days Gone succeeds, we'll give you this Siphon Filter project." I think because they're basically bringing back a hit um, with Siphon Filter. This isn't a new one. I can understand. Okay, if they were to go to Sony Ben and say, "Hey, we want you to do this game, Days Gone. If it does pretty good, we got another new project in mind that we might give to you." But a game like Siphon Filter, there's already been an established hit. No, Sony's got their mind made up that they're probably going to do it. The only thing that I can see happening with this is if Days Gone flops and it turns out to be garbage, then maybe Sony hands Siphon Filter off to somebody else. But I think if they're going to do this, if they're going to do Siphon Filter, they're going to do it, and it won't be about whether the developer does a good job or not on the previous game. Ice Queen Gaming, you said you're thinking of pre-ordering Judgment. That's another one of the very few third-party games that have, that kind of got my attention. Ice Queen Gaming is Judgment. I really am curious about that. Spartan God, you said you want an apology from JP Local and Overdone, who called me a hater, saying Days Gone wouldn't fare well. What is your definition of faring well, Spartan God? Are you saying it wouldn't fare well in terms of sales or in terms of critic scores? If you say it wasn't fare well over critic scores, then yeah, you got a leg to stand on. But if you saying that Days Gone wouldn't fare well in terms of sale, we don't know yet. Mm. Spartan God, you say Sony and Microsoft should stop giving IGN review copies. I think Sony should stop giving IGN review copies. I already got my mind made up that Microsoft pays them off. If Microsoft hands over 5 games to IGN for them to review it, they're going to say 4 of the games are good, and that 5th one they're going to say is garbage or mediocre, just so they don't look like so they don't look like Digital Foundry when they got caught getting paid off. When they did a Xbox sponsored review. So yeah, exactly. Spark, 72 is considered not faring well. That's just, I mean, to me, that's just a higher standard that Sony's always being held to. OBJ, you said it right there. People wonder why we keep getting safe sequels of games instead of companies taking chances on new IP. Today's gamers are idiot. And for the most part, Sony is the only one who takes chances. Microsoft does not. I told y'all, Microsoft, drug money. They want a game that they have to put no money into. The game has no campaign, repetitive, online only, and they want the game to do $5 trillion over a weekend. If it don't, they won't take a chance on a sequel. Or if they do, they're gonna, make it a damn indie game. To me, State of Decay 2, I guess to some degree, I guess it was a safe sequel because I hear the first State of Decay did okay, but it was a safe sequel. To me, for Microsoft, State of Decay 2 was a safe sequel, not in a sense that the game was going to do great. It was a safe sequel in the sense that it wasn't going to cost Microsoft shit to make the game, and you can see by the quality of the game that it didn't cost them shit to make it. Impatient. You said I like when Sony takes risks on new IPs. They don't always hit a home run, but the chances they take is what makes them have the best library of games. I agree. And I can't remember what YouTuber said it, but I think they said something that Sony was looking for Days Gone to be like the next big franchise, a game that they could, like maybe make a trilogy out of. Because let's face it, after The Last of Us 2 comes out, no matter how great that game is, people are probably not going to be in a hurry to see a sequel to it so soon. You know what I mean? The game might have to take a rest. It might have to take a break for a few years, just like Uncharted. So, with that being said, we definitely going to get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And, hell, Sony made a Knack 2, even though the first Knack didn't do too well. So, Sony will take chances. So I think that Days Gone will do good enough that Sony will take a chance on a second, on a sequel to the game. It's just a matter of whether they'll have the developers do another one or not. So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna get ready to get on out of here. And my son has left me a message that he's watching the stream live. Hey, what's up? What's up, buddy? How you doing, buddy? I'm glad you're watching the stream. Hey, right there, Patient Fire. If Nat can get a sequel, The Days Gone deserves a sequel too. But I will admit, though, I think Nat got a sequel because of Mark Cerny. I think as far as Sony goes, I think only Mark Cerny and Kojima got a free pass to walk around and do whatever they want. So I mean, Mark Cerny, whatever he wants, Sony better pay him. All right, Coon, we'll catch you later and get some pizzas. Yeah, enjoy. I love pizza. Shit. Being that I don't know if I'm gonna play VR today, but I'm definitely gonna. It might only be a half hour or something, but I'll stream Days Gone a little bit tonight at midnight when it unlocks. OBJ, you said I'm still pissed that I didn't get a sequel to the Order 1886. I have to believe, OBJ, that Sony got to be taking a look at it, because even though Sony don't say that much, I think Sony does watch YouTube and pay attention to the forums and stuff like that. I mean, because they do send out surveys and all that kind of shit to try to get a feel for what gamers are thinking. So I think they gotta know that there's some people who want a sequel to the Order 1886. With me, they don't necessarily. I would like to see a sequel to the Order, even though I didn't finish the first one. I would like to see a sequel to the Order 1886, but more than anything, I want Sony to lock them down, because Ready at Dawn, who developed the Order 1886, developed Lone Echo over on the Oculus Rift, which is by far the best looking game I have ever seen in VR. That game looks amazing. So my thinking is Sony needs to go ahead and lock Ready at Dawn down to make some VR games for them if they don't have them do the sequel to the Order. So yeah, but I'm with you. A lot of there's been a lot of a lot of hubbub about wanting to see a sequel to the Order 1886. I would like to see it. I still think that even though it was I don't want to say a launch title, but a title that came out early in the generation, it still looks a lot better. This game is in what, 1080p, maybe even not true 1080p. It might be 9 something. Either way, it still looks better than a lot of shit that the Xbox got. That tells you about the talent that Sony associates themselves with. And with the Order 1886, I like the criticism that I heard about that game was that it was too short. They didn't say that. I wasn't hearing that the story was garbage or the mechanics was garbage or the graphics was garbage. All I was really hearing was that the game was too short. So, but yeah, I've been on for over a little bit over an hour. Let me get ready to get on off of here and figure out what I'm going to do. Either I'm going to take a nap or I'm going to jump on Oculus, one or the other. But I'll definitely, even if it's only for a half an hour, I'll definitely stream Days Gone when it unlocks at midnight. And with me being on the East Coast, I'm 3 hours ahead of Thrash, so you can check out my stream first at midnight, and then check out Thrash. When he goes live, unless he uses his connection to get a hold of the game early. So, all right, Joystick, we'll catch you later. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I think I made my point about this fraudulent YouTuber, and I think I laid down. I think I broke it down. I think I gave the evidence that supports that he's a fraud. I knew he wasn't. I knew he didn't really make the jump the way he tried to make it sound. Like I said, I knew he was a fraud. I mean, he finally proved it today. So, thanks for watching, y'all. Give it a like. Shit. I guess the Xbox that don't like it, give it a dislike. However you want to do it. Like, share, share, comment, all that good stuff. As always, y'all know I enjoy talking to y'all. I love kicking it with y'all. And now see y'all in a little while when I do my next stream. All right, everybody. Y'all take it easy.